Good morning, it's meteorologist Jason Scott on a Sunday. It's September the 9th, and we're in the middle of the hurricane season, and as you can well tell, we have the African train on the move, which is also called the Cape Verde season this time of the year. We are watching the 11 o'clock report that just came in from the Hurricane Center, and it puts Florence at 24.5 north and 55.8 west. The movement is off still to the west and is still below the hurricane threshold, which is 70 miles per hour at the current time. It only needs like 5 more mile per hour winds added to there to make it a hurricane. The predictions down the road is expected to ramp up into a major hurricane on Monday by 2 p.m. And as you can well see, it takes it off closer to the southeast coast of the U.S. Primarily, the North Carolina coast is the projected landfall. That will be Friday at 2 a.m. But keep in mind that the winds will be affecting that area way before the storm arrives, as you can see here. It's going to be something like on Thursday, you maybe experience some wind gusts, some gale force or tropical storm force winds on late Wednesday into Thursday along the coastline of South Carolina and North Carolina. North Carolina looks like it's going to be the target for the landfall at the moment, but things can still change. So keep it here. We'll keep you up posted, or keep it locked into your National Hurricane Center, where we get our information from as well. And the next system we want to look at is in the far eastern Atlantic. It's Isaac. Isaac is currently still a tropical storm with winds currently at 65 miles per hour. It is expected to become a hurricane as well, either this evening or sometimes on Monday, and continue to push off on a westerly course. But keep in mind, the long-range forecast on this one is expected not to make it no higher than a Cat 1 hurricane. In fact, once it gets into the Caribbean, it's going to run into some high shear, and that's going to knock it down a notch to a backless tropical storm. So its long-range forecast doesn't look very promising for Isaac. And once it gets into this area here, the high pressure north of it is expected to weaken, and this is after Florence makes landfall. Some of the long-range models are taking it off to the north, and the only place it could affect would be the Bermuda Island. If that's the case, we'll keep you posted on the very latest on that one as well. But as far as getting into the Gulf, chances are becoming less likely that happening at this time. If it were to even get into the Gulf, chances are it's going to be pushing off to the west, because we have a system that's going to be blocking any tropical systems to affecting the Gulf Coast. So anything that did get into the Gulf will be pushing off to the west into Mexico and not affecting the Gulf Coast. So we have a good thing happening for our area here along the Gulf Coast. Now, the one that's further behind that one, and that's Helene. Helene is affecting the Cape Verde Islands here, and they do have some tropical storm warnings in effect for that area as we speak. And that's expected to become a hurricane sometimes this evening or early in Monday morning. Expected to take a recurve off in the mid-Atlantic and pretty much be a fish storm, and nothing's going to be happening too much with that one, so we can pretty much mark that one off. The only one that I see that shows a lot of potential at the moment would be Florence, and that's the one that's going to have to be dealt with in the Carolinas. So you need, if you're living in the Carolinas, you need to be prepared. You need to be prepared for this one, because this one could equal to Hugo back in 1989. I know I said earlier in a previous video 82, but it was actually 1989 that Hugo affected the Carolinas, and this one could be equal to the power of Hugo from that year. I'll keep you posted on the very latest. Right now, it looks like that's what we've got. If you're living on the Gulf Coast, you have nothing to worry about. This storm is not going to affect anybody along the Gulf Coast. And we don't know about Isaac. That's still less likely now that Isaac would even be a concern to anybody on the Gulf Coast. I know we had a few meteorologists locally been saying for days now that we're going to have a storm in the Gulf. There's nothing in the Gulf of Mexico, and we don't anticipate anything anytime soon. So just put your mind at rest, and you keep it here. We'll give you the accurate information from the National Hurricane Center. And that's about it. Have a blessed Sunday. Take care.